Finding something in the desert may seem unlikely. Archaeologists found surprising and unique discoveries in the desolate area, leaving them baffled. These amazing discoveries have captured global interest, and now everyone wants to know where they came from. Welcome to Info Plus. Let me tell you, desert discoveries will shock you. Let's go. Number 12. Video game cartridges. Filmmakers found many ET video game cartridges made by Atari Incorporated, the alien found in a New Mexico landfill. Over 800,000 of these cartridges were known as the worst video game ever made and caused Atari's downfall in the 1980s. The game was made quickly to go with a movie, but it didn't meet expectations and was never released. Atari buried games in a deep hole in the New Mexico desert and paid authorities to dispose of them in a landfill. Atari claimed they didn't know where the games were or what happened to them. The cartridges became famous because they disappeared without explanation. The game creator was happy to see that a game they made 32 years ago still has an impact. The next item on the list is a real treasure. Number 11. Egyptian burial boat. Ancient Egypt had a unique culture. They buried vehicles in tombs as part of their customs. This was a common tradition in the past. King Tut's tomb has 6 chariots. Others chose boats instead of being limited to the elite class. Peasants would bury inexpensive reed boats in their graves. In 2016, a buried vessel was found in the Saharan desert after 4,500 years. The boat was 60 feet long and made of high-quality wood, so it stayed intact when excavated. Surprisingly, this discovery was found in the grave of a commoner, not a noble or general. How did a poor person afford that boat buried there? Next, we have a desert feature that some conspiracy theorists believe might be evidence of alien involvement. Number 10. Fairy circles. People wondered if aliens were watching them because of the round marks in the mid-desert. Scientists have long been interested in the mysterious circular shapes found in the vegetation of Namib Desert in Namibia. The circles in the desert have caused speculation about fires, winds, and aliens. The reason for these fairy circles is still unknown despite a lot of research. New Scientist reports that 2 theories are popular. Some suggest that termites made the circles by clearing plants near their nests, creating water storage underground. The circles may be caused by plants competing for water. Neither theory fully explains why the circles stay empty for long periods without any visible colonies. The mystery of these strange circles in the Namib Desert remains unsolved, but they still fascinate scientists and visitors. Number 9. Fake Prada store. We often believe fashion stores are only in wealthy cities. A fake Prada store was discovered in the Texas desert. It was an art experiment called Prada Marfa, a Texas desert art installation by Michael Elmgreen and Inger Dragset is an isolated storefront. The sculpture is a life-sized Prada boutique replica. The store was made from biodegradable materials and left to decay as a comment on consumerism and tourism. The installation was supposed to be left alone by the artist, but it got stolen and vandalized, causing controversy. It's now a popular tourist spot, attracting visitors, even celebrities. Prada Marfa's isolated location and mix of luxury and decay make it appealing and thought-provoking. It challenges our views on consumer culture. Number 8. Graveyard of sea mammals. Deserts lack water, so animals there can't swim. In 2010, while doing road work, fossils of 40 whales and other marine creatures like dolphins, seals, and swordfish-related fish were found at Cerro Balena in Chile's Atacama Desert. The hill is 40 meters above sea level. Many animals and different species suggest a rare case of mass fossilization. How did many creatures die and get preserved together? The animals were deposited over time and preserved on the hill for millions of years. But there was a scarier theory that said an algae infection caused their deaths and made them wash up on land. This resting place is now fascinating, regardless of the cause. People thought this might be where Noah's Ark was, with all the animals before the flood. Number 7. Gobi Desert Pattern. In 2011, something strange in China's Gobi Desert caught Google Earth users' attention. There are white lines with silver square blocks and circles. People online were curious about these markings and came up with different theories about why they were there. Some thought they could be targets for satellite weapons or messages for aliens. Jonathan Hill, a research technician at Arizona State University, thinks the zigzag shapes were probably calibration targets for Chinese satellites. Despite this, many people still believe aliens made the markings. Finding these markings in the Gobi Desert shows how mysterious our world is and reminds us that there's still a lot we don't know. It's interesting to think that there might be hidden signs of human activity, like these markings, waiting to be discovered by chance. Number 6. Phone booth. The Mogave Desert in California is very empty. In the desert, there was a telephone booth 12 miles from the nearest road. It was built in 1948 for local miners and was updated until it was removed in 2000. A tombstone with ceramic tiles was placed where the phone booth used to be. It became famous when a man named Godfrey Daniels found it in the Mogave Desert. He was surprised to find a phone booth in a remote location. He called the phone multiple times until a woman named Laureen answered. She lived off the grid and used the phone booth. Daniels was captivated by a phone booth in a remote location. He built a website about it. He posted the booth's phone number 760-733-9969 on the website, which got a lot of curious callers from around the world. But because it was far away, the phone booth got vandalized and taken away. The Mogave phone booth was removed, but it is still loved as a symbol of connection and mystery in the desert. Number 5. Giant Arrows of Arizona. We often use Google Maps when directions are confusing. In Arizona, there are big concrete arrows that make people wonder who they were meant for. The Air Traffic Control Association made these arrows in the late 1920s and early 1930s for airmail. The long arrows were placed by beacons to guide pilots in the sky. These arrows were used before satellites and GPS when pilots relied on visual aids for navigation. Some beacons have been taken down, but the arrows are still left behind. Sometimes hikers or aviation enthusiasts find them on Google's maps. These arrows show how early pilots dealt with challenges before modern technology. The arrows remind us of the pioneers who were innovative in aviation. Number 4. Tunisian Lake. Deserts are dry and have few lakes. In 2014, shepherds in Tunisia found a big body of water that was about 1 hectare in size and up to 18 meters deep. The locals named this surprise discovery Lac de Gapsa. It quickly became a popular spot for people seeking relief from the hot weather. Concerns were raised about contamination and radioactivity from phosphate mining in the region. Even though the water turned green, people still visited the lake because it had a unique charm. Seismologists think the lake might have been made by a spring that was let out by mistake while mining. Phosphate mining in the area may have disturbed the soil and rock layers, exposing the spring and creating the lake. The green water might mean the lake has nutrients that help algae and plants grow. Locals and visitors still go to the lake because they think the water's green color can heal illnesses. Number 3. Dead Sea Scrolls. Dead Sea Scrolls have been in movies and history lessons many times. This was the first time the scrolls were mentioned in the news. Ancient scroll parts found in Cave of Horror near Dead Sea. This find reminds us of the troubled history of the Dead Sea Scrolls. These scrolls are ancient Jewish religious texts found in the Qumran Mountains in the Judean desert in 1946. They date back to between the 3rd century BC and 1st century AD. They are very important because they have the second oldest known accounts of the Holy Bible. The new fragments were found during an Israeli project to find more manuscripts. The Cave of Horror got its name because it had many skeletons, including children's. It also had personal documents, a piece of Hebrew prayer, and the scroll that the fragments belonged to. These items were hidden in the cave for safekeeping. Number 2. Cadillac Ranch. Americans love Cadillac cars. This ranch near Amarillo, Texas, is a famous art installation on Route 66. It attracts many tourists and artists. It has unique art not found in galleries. In 1974, a group of artists called the Ant Farm created this installation. It has 10 Cadillac cars buried nose first in the ground. The cars are painted in bright colors and covered in graffiti. The artists were inspired by the American car industry's ups and downs. Visitors can bring spray paint to leave their mark on the cars, creating a changing canvas of colors and messages. Cars are still a symbol of Americana and nostalgia, despite the graffiti. The Cadillac Ranch has inspired conspiracy theories and urban legends. Some think the installation is haunted by the artist's ghosts, while others say it has a secret message. The Cadillac Ranch is a mysterious attraction that draws visitors worldwide with its beauty. Number 1. 8 million mummified dogs. Animals and ancient Egyptians had a complicated relationship. They liked animals, but they also wanted to sacrifice many animals to make their masters happy. In 2011, a big cemetery with mummified dogs was found in Saqqara, Egypt. Archaeologists found a huge cemetery with millions of mummified dog remains. Egypt's Ministry of Antiquities found a cemetery. Experts say mummified dogs were buried as offerings to Anubis, the god of the afterlife, in a religious ritual over 2,500 years ago. The ritual aimed to please Anubis for a smooth afterlife journey. There are a lot of dog mummies in the cemetery, estimated to be between 4 to 8 million. The site is important historically and culturally, and efforts are being made to preserve and protect the dog cemetery. The discovery reveals more about the religious beliefs of ancient Egyptians, including their respect for animals and belief in life after death. Deserts have many secrets and mysteries waiting to be discovered. When walking in sand dunes, look for strange things or buildings. You never know what you might find. That's all we have. Hope you liked the video. See you in the next one.